If I had the choice of wishing something never had been invented, it would be the idea that alcohol was meant for drinking. 10,000. That's right. That is the estimate number of people that will die from drunk driving this year alone. This is more people that will be killed by assault weapons and hammers. You hear that, Diane Frankenstein? The title of this show is Addictions, and I want to go over the addictions that are destroying this nation. I want to talk about the harm, especially if they violate another human's rights. A lot of people do not agree with my stand that the federal government should stay out of people's lives. I do believe that the county or city or even state governments do have a right to make laws to protect the people who support it, as long as they're constitutional. As long as they do not break the constitutional given rights that comes from God. You see, the 10th Amendment for more information. I cannot agree that it is your right to drink a cleansing fluid or fuel. A lot of men in history have subjected themselves to alcohol abuse, and it has become their downfall. It is easy for me to hate alcohol so much because I have never been attracted to it. It stinks and it makes people look really stupid. It enrages me on the violence and the result that comes from the abuse of it. It makes me sad when I see beer commercials glorify the alcoholic lifestyle like it's one big party. They never show the beer belly guy throw him up at the toilet, calling in sick the next day, or worse, beating his wife or children, or much worse, killing the boy and his father coming home from a ball game in a drunk driving reverse. The worst thing I have seen, though, is denying that an addiction exists. It used to be Alcoholics Anonymous, which you can see all over the place. The big one that does not get any respect anymore is sexual addiction. First of all, that's the reason. Let's call it for what it is. It is porn addiction. This is the biggest addiction we are facing in this country right now. Porn addiction has helped with our antisocial society that we live in today. It depletes the testosterone in a man, and it destroys the healthy relationship of any man with his woman. Now, I agree that there is less deaths caused by porn than drinking addiction and smoking addiction, but this is a video about addiction, not about the negative impacts of addiction. Recently, there were studies on behavior addictions, and there were two main studies that were included, gambling and food, and they refused to study porn. If you believe that porn is going to go away just because you do not believe it does not exist, then you have a problem. That is like believing that you deny any existence of negativity that will go away. I brought this up because most of the time I feel like I'm preaching to the choir when I start talking about smoking. Look on the box, you smelly idiots! I love when smokers tell me, well, I may smoke, but at least I cover my mouth when I sneeze. Some people don't cover their mouths when they sneeze. Or I'm like, oh yeah, we have kids from birth defects because a pregnant woman sneezes. Or I love how when smokers say, well, a lot of people have bad habits like picking your nose. Well, first of all, picking at your nose does not cost $5 plus a nose-picking tax. I want to flick boogers on people who smoke the next time people blow smoke on me. I want them coming home smelling like snot. Oh, honey, why do you smell like snot? What's all those pickers I work with? Now, I'm being a little facetious here, but you get my point. I know if you're a smoker and you're struggling with it, my heart goes out with you. I'm just showing you a little tough love here. So why is America such an addicted society? Well, we're a hard-working society. We always have been. We admire people who work hard. Well, along with this hard work comes the stress that goes with it. Our mind wants to relieve this stress, so we go out and try to get this mental pain out of our head by drinking, smoking, and even looking at porn. We think this makes us feel good and that it becomes a part of our lives, looking for that high in our mind. Fortunately, we are just looking for that quick fix instead of a long-term solution. If we were looking for a long-term solution, we would try to make a more long-term fulfillment in our lives. We could take that spare time, we want to relieve stress by exercising and creating something, or going to church or political meetings. But this is too much work than busting out a beer, picking up a cigarette, or browsing through the net for naked celebrities. Our search for a long-term and stable high takes work, just like a relationship. And we do not want to feel the pain. But guess what? We have to feel the pain to grow. It is called growing up. And it's better we need to move on so that when the problem comes our way, we're able to face them better. One way you can start with getting over addiction is to be honest with ourselves. Stop denying there is a problem. Look at your monthly statements or receipts and see where your money is going. And this can give you a good idea where your mind is. And see if there needs to be any changing done. The Bible never uses the word addiction. It uses another word a lot of people do not use. It's called idolatry. If you want to see who you really worship, look at those monthly receipts. Where does your spare money go to? Another thing is not to be afraid to admit you have a problem to someone else. The more you talk about it, you'll become more ashamed about talking about it. Heck, make a vlog about your addiction. Instead of rewarding yourself with alcohol or cigarettes or porn, take a walk. Learn an instrument. You can call someone and talk to them. Volunteer for a charity. Replace a bad habit with a good habit. There's an old saying, there's a God-shaped hole in all of us. Basically saying that we are trying to fill a void in our lives with needless things when we need to fulfill that hole with a long-lasting relationship with God. Let's look at it another way. We will never overcome addiction. We just need to replace the addiction with something else, like a good addiction. Look, there are no good people, just good addictions. You need to find one that works for you. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but how much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Basically, try to do good when no one is there as well. So there you have it. Idle hands becomes the devil's playthings. Every boy needs a girl, but there's a God-shaped hole in all of us. There's a God-shaped hole in all of us. There you have it. Arr! I'm out of here.